Good? Hine, but Rabos, what is Rabos? You know what Rabos is? Rabot, Midrash Rabbah. When it says Rabot, it means Midrash Rabbah. But Rabot and Midrash Rabbah, Ita, it says, Al Pasuk, on the Pasuk, probably Midrash Tehillim maybe. Al Pi, Mi Bora Eile, who created these? Shekai, that it refers, Al on, Eile Toldot Hashamayim V'Oretz. Mi Bora Eile says, look up, lift up your eyes and see who created these. What is these? What are you supposed to see? The birds? Maybe the clouds? It says, no, it's talking about another Eile that's mentioned in the beginning of the Torah. Eile Toldos Hashamayim V'Oretz. Kai, it refers al Eile Toldos Hashamayim V'Oretz. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth, Bihi Boram. If you ever look at the book Bereshit, it repeats twice the creation of the world. First of all, it talks about every day, and then it repeats it over again, but in a very short way. It says, these are the heavens and the earth, and the day that they were created. God made man, and there was no rain on the earth, and etc. There was no man to work, and God made man, etc. But the pasuk says, Eile Toldos Hashemayim V'Oretz. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth. She'omru, that it says, Eile, these, the stars, Bizechut mi, in the merit of whom Nivra'u were created, Ubizechut mi, and in the merit of whom Hem Omdim. Why did God create the heavens? Why did God create the earth? In the merit of whom did He create it? Who says He created it in the merit of anyone? Says the Midrash, not so. God created the heavens and the earth, b'zechut, in the merit of Eile, another Eile. Eile, Toldot Shamayim V'Oretz, God created them for the sake of another Eile. What's the other Eile? Eile Shmot Ben Yisrael. These are the names of the Jewish people. Oh, Ve'eile, and this second Eile, Shmot Ben Yisrael. These are the names of the Jewish people. Bizchut mi nivru. Who created? For what were they created? Bizchut mi hem omdim. And in the merit of whom are they standing? The Jewish people. Bizchut, in the merit of Eile, another Eile, it says in the Torah. Eile, these are Edot v'hachukim hamishpatim. These are the laws, the statutes, and another word for laws. In other words, the heavens and the earth were created for whom? And who keeps them going? The Jews. Of course God creates them, but for who they were created? They were created for the Jews, and the Jews, in the merit of the Jews, these heavens and the earth continue to exist. And the Jews, in the merit of whom are they created? And in the merit of what are they existing? The Torah. Edut v'chukim v'mishpatim. The laws, the statutes, and the laws. Generally speaking, edus, chukim, mishpatim are religious laws, not understandable laws, and understandable laws. There's the three different types of laws there are in the Torah. In the merit of that, the Jewish people exist, and in the merit of that, the Jewish people are sustained. If you look at the history of the Jews, there was a book that was written, The History of the Jews. All these people who write books, The History of the Jews, either they make fools of themselves, or they admit that they just can't understand it. Or they say that it's godly. It's just godly intervention. Because the Jews have defied every law of history. Anything that would normally keep a people together and give people an identity is lacking by the Jews. They've been scattered all over. They don't have the same language. They don't have the same race. There's some of them that are religious, there's some of them that aren't religious. Right? There's some don't want to even identify as Jews. In Russia, there was Judaism was almost totally wiped out 70 years. Now there's people popping up that their mother didn't know she was Jewish, and their grandmother didn't know she was Jewish, and their great-grandmother didn't know she was Jewish. And they all married non-Jews, and all of them. And suddenly, all of a sudden, it comes out this idea, hey, you're a Jew, pops up. Right? Tell a person that he hasn't been in Japan for 70 years, you're Japanese. He doesn't look Japanese. He says, okay, good, what do I care? He has no loyalty to Japan suddenly. Wake up a person and tell you you're Jewish. Did you know you're Jewish? All of a sudden his heart starts pounding, he gets excited, he doesn't understand what it means. And why are the Jews existing? Because of the Torah and the commandments. The Torah and the commandments are equally not understandable. Okay, Herschel. V'pam matzinu, and another time we find od, yoter, even more. Al pi, according to al pasuk. I'm sorry, on the pasuk. Ko Omar Hashem. So says God. Boracha Yaakov, your creator, Yaakov, v'yitzircha Yisrael, and your, another word for creator, the one who has formed you, Yisrael. Olami, Olami, world, mi boracha, who created you? Yaakov boracha. Yaakov, Jacob, created the world. Yisrael Yitzircha. Yisrael, the same thing as Yaakov, right? But his name was changed. Yisrael Yitzircha. Yaakov created the world. Yisrael created the world. There's a pasuk on the Torah that it says that, what is it? They made a mizbeach, v'yikra Hashem, Kele Elokei Yaakov. It says that the mizbeach was called the name of Yaakov. And another explanation says that Yaakov was called by the name of God. Hainu t'chasiv vayokom edus b'Yaakov, like it says, God stood up testimony in Jacob, the Torah, some b'Yisrael, and he gave Torah b'Yisrael. Yisrael is either talking about the Jewish people or it's talking about the person Jacob. Bishvil HaTorah, for the sake of the Torah, v'Yaakov, and for the sake of Jacob, Nivra ha'olam, the world was created. V'lochen, and therefore, Hari Zeh, behold, this is Kamo, as though Shabora Oto created it, Yaakov and Yisrael. Yaakov and Yisrael, the same person, created the world. Now just think about it sometimes. There's something like 8 billion people in the world, right? All of these people are creations of God. We just finished learning a mimer. You were in the mimer, Chaviv Adam Shenivra B'Tselem, you weren't, you just came in the end of it. That every human being is dear to God. Every human being is dear to God. But we see that every human being in the world acts according to his own nature. And once in a while we see that people go a little bit out of their nature. They're honest. They show love. They're willing to give up something, right, in order for the sake of truth, for the sake of honesty. And those people, they make movies about them. They write books about them. Right? Tales and courage. The people that are heroes. Very, very unusual. And people that are willing really to sacrifice everything for the Creator doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. There's people who are willing to sacrifice everything for the religion in order to go to heaven, to blow themselves up. Right? There's people that are willing to sacrifice everything to be nice, to be kind. There's people also that are willing to sacrifice everything for their country. Right? For their country, the Germans, the Nazis, these people, they were willing to sacrifice everything for their country. Right? It says, but to sacrifice everything for God, for the Creator, everything, that you don't find. It says that's what the world was made for. That person is called a tzaddik. A tzaddik is a person that does not think about himself at all. He thinks about and he acts on that, and he's aware of God, and he's willing to sacrifice. That's the big word. Mesirut nefesh, sacrifice everything, every moment.
So you're saying that the world was created for the benefit of Yaakov and Israel, not that. You're saying that Yaakov and Israel.
Okay, he says that's what it means. That's what it means. In other words, because of in their merit, it's as though they created it. That's what it says in the Tanya. If you look in the Tanya, the first chapter, right? It says Tzaddik Yesod Olam, that God saw that the world was very, very unstable. So he took the tzaddikim and he scattered them on the generations so that every generation would have a tzaddik. A tzaddik is a person that does not think about him. It's not that tzaddik is a person that has this tremendous perception of God and he's tremendously intelligent and he's a Kabbalist and everything. That's very good. That's good. But that's not the idea of what a tzaddik is. A tzaddik is a person that has total self-sacrifice for God every single moment. Total self-sacrifice. And that he feels God and he loves God. His whole life is just faith in God and loving God and fearing God. That's his whole life. Self-sacrifice. So he says that was Jacob. Jacob really started that. That was the thing why Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are called the fathers. Every instant of their lives, they realize they're being created and they're being created for a purpose. And everything that happened to them, they realize it's just a challenge to do more, to be more positive, to transform the world. So that's what it says. The Jews were created. The world was created because of Yaakov. V'habriya, and the creation, who he is, yesh mi'ayin. These are very essential ideas in Judaism. Very, very essential ideas. The world was created something from nothing. This is very essential because that's the message of Judaism to the world. Judaism is not just a religion like all the other religions. Like I said, the Judeo-Christian heritage in America. All the laws that are really relevant and that are practical in Christianity they all come from Judaism. Where do they come from in Judaism? Judaism says that God gave them all the laws. Who is God? God is creating the world. God is creating the world. He's creating every single detail. Every amoeba, every plant, every rock, every person, every animal, every bird, every planet, every angel, every spirit. God is creating everything all the time, constantly from love. Yesh mi'ayin. Something from nothing. That's Judaism. That's the message of Judaism to the world. Everyone is important. Why? Because God is creating everyone. Every single non-Jew in the world is important because God is creating every single non-Jew constantly. There's no accidents here. God is showing his love. That's called yesh mi'ayin. If God wasn't creating everything, the thing would stop existing. It would stop existing. It wouldn't have existence at all. Says the Rebbe, and we'll end this here with just a couple more lines. The world was created something from nothing. Now, how can we say it was created from nothing? The L'cheor, at first glance, Hari Kativ, it says, Ki mimcha hakol. Everything is created from God. That's what it should say. Don't say the world is creating something from nothing. Say the world is being created something from God. How does this nothing fit in there? What are you calling God nothing? Something from nothing. The world is created something from God. God is creating it. Not something from nothing. It even says in the pasuk, Ki mimcha hakol. Everything comes from you, God. Mimcha, ki, because mimcha, from you. Hakol is everything. Ve'eich, and how? Mamshilim oto, can we compare God? Can we call God Yisbrich? Bibechinat ayin. How can we say that God is nothing? As we'll talk about, God willing, tomorrow.